Hey guys, on today's video, I want to talk really candidly for a minute about what's been going on with the channel, why the upload schedule has become so sporadic lately, and my plan to kind of get back on track and what you can expect moving forward. So I know that I don't necessarily need to come on here and explain what's been going on, but I feel like I do owe you an explanation because I had been so consistent about making sure that there were videos coming out almost every day on the channel, and then that kind of just became more sporadic over the last couple weeks. That was not my plan, and so first I feel like I should apologize that I did not make any type of announcement. I didn't let you guys know what was going on, but things have been just really busy. Coda has a few busy seasons at work, and the last few weeks have been one of those busy seasons. And so he's just been out of the home more, which has put more work on me to maintain the home, maintain the structures of the running of our home. And so he's just been relying on me to kind of show up in my role in a more tangible way these last few weeks, which has just taken my attention. But even more than that, I have been having some major allergies that has led to some pretty significant illnesses the last few weeks, and really most recently, I ended up having some major breathing issues, and obviously I can't record if I can't breathe. And I went to the doctor, got it all worked out. I'm feeling much better now, but that has just taken a toll. It has taken a toll on me, my energy, my ability to do what I need to do to produce the content for this channel. And so I want to just say that, hey, I should have made an announcement and I'm sorry I didn't, but please know that moving forward, it is my plan to continue to upload the content to be more consistent. The other thing that's been kind of hard the last few weeks is I feel like there has been a lot of judgment that has come my way, and I completely understand that by putting this content out on the internet that I'm going to get opinions, whether they be good or bad, and I have dealt with that from the beginning of this podcast, and I am not at all sensitive to other people's opinions. But when it starts to be an attack of my character, and when it starts to be an insinuation of how my relationship functions, whether that is people insinuating that we are too extreme, or that, Coda is abusive, or that I am, it's really funny because there's these two opinions that float around that Coda is this abusive dictator, controlling husband, or the other flip side is that I am just way too aggressive in my personality and I overtalk him and I'm leading the relationship behind the scenes, and that I'm puppeting his leadership. I don't know how those two things exist at the same time, but those two opinions exist at the same time, neither of which are true, by the way. Coda and I have had a lot of conversations because in the early days of the podcast, when we would get those opinions, obviously I never felt like Coda was a, controlling, abusive dictator of a husband. So those were easy for me to just dismiss. But when I would get the opinions of, that I'm aggressive or that I'm overbearing or I overtalk him, I would be really sensitive to that. And so Coda and I have had a lot of conversations. We've sat down, we've talked through a lot of this stuff, and I know that I am meeting the expectation put on me from my head of household, and that's all that matters. Coda does not mind how I speak to him, how I interact with him, and I know that I have grown in that area. I can see it, I can hear it through going back to old podcasts and listening to myself and listening to how we talk and interact. I've grown a lot in that area, but I also know, because I edit these podcasts, I get to not only experience conversations with Coda, I get to re-listen to them. I get to hear them over and over again. And so I know that I am not overspeaking him. I know that he's not feeling disrespected. He is not feeling like I am aggressive or, in control of our relationship. That sounds so silly to me. I am absolutely not in control of our relationship in any way, shape, or form. Do I have a voice? Do I have an opinion? Yes, but at the end of the day, Coda makes all the decisions in our relationship, and it's really hard when I'm getting bombarded with opinions that that's not the case, and especially when Coda's really busy and it feels like there is a lot going on in our lives and then I'm getting bombarded with these opinions. It can cause some insecurity. It can cause just a lack of motivation to continue to put my life out there. Do I choose to do this? Absolutely. Am I complaining that I get unsolicited opinions? No, not at all. I get to choose what I listen to. I get to choose how it affects me. But it is kind of hard when all of these things are happening all at the same time, and it can cause some insecurity, and it can cause me to just have a lack of motivation to continue to put my life out there, to continue to put myself in a position to get those opinions, to get those judgments. And I know that that's not fair to the people that really support us. I know that that's not fair to the people that do give us positive feedback. And so I do apologize to the people that are actually supportive of our relationship, that find value in what we are saying. But I needed to step back just a little bit to gather myself, not only because a lot of life was happening, not only because I wasn't feeling well, but because I needed to really put things back into perspective in my mind to say that I know that I'm a good wife. I know that I'm a good taken in hand, and I don't need to listen to opinions of strangers on the internet that make me feel otherwise. And so that is what I've kind of been dealing with just on my side of life. And then something happened where last week I asked Coda if I could kind of stay up, get caught up on recording, that I really wanted to get ahead. And he said yes. He was like, yes, I think that that's a good thing. You can, I like to record at night. It's just when my brain works best. It's when my words work best. And so he gave me permission to stay up late through the night and get all the recording done that I needed to get done. And so I stayed up, I did all the recording, and then I went to edit, and half of the videos that I recorded, the audio was completely distorted. It was so disheartening because I was like, I don't have the energy now to re-record these, nor do I have the faith in our audio equipment to perform the way it's supposed to perform if it distorted in these videos. And so I was only able to upload like a few of the videos that I recorded that night, and rather than try to figure out what was going on with our audio equipment, figure out an alternative, what we did is we went ahead and we ordered some new microphones so that we could have more reliable audio. So we wouldn't have to worry about those distortions happening. And because we were waiting on these new microphones to come in, I decided that I was just going to work with what I had that week. I was going to do the best I could to get content up, but it wasn't going to be the full content schedule that I had planned because half of my recordings were completely useless. As in, I was getting frustrated trying to figure out what I was saying because it sounded like I was like underwater. It was just a complete distortion of audio. I really tried to clean it up in post-production, but nothing was helping. And so that's what happened last week. That's what happened to the recordings from last week. So I just want you to know, like, I am fully aware that last week's upload schedule was just not it. It was not what you guys deserve. It's not what was expected. But moving forward, now that I have new audio equipment, now that I'm feeling better, I will be uploading on schedule. I know that yesterday, if you're watching this on the day that it comes out, yesterday we did not have a video, but that is because I was so sick on Monday. I was not able to record, and so I'm recording today, which is Tuesday. So I'm recording today to make sure that the rest of the week does have the content so that we can kind of get back on track with everything. And so that is kind of where we've been at. That's why the upload schedule has been so sporadic. This podcast is not dying. We have no intention of slowing down. We have no intention of not putting out content on a regular basis. We have no intention of making content more sporadic. We really do want to continue to put out content regularly. In fact, we are working on new projects for that will be available in the future. So we are still doing this thing. We are not dying off. We are not losing momentum. In fact, if you want to help us continue to gain traction and gain momentum on this platform, the best way you can do that here on YouTube is to like our videos. It's to leave us comments. It's to subscribe if you're not already. All of those things really kind of help push us out in the algorithm. It helps us gain traction. It helps us get more views, and it helps us really gain that momentum to continue to do what we're doing. And if you feel so inclined, you can support us through YouTube membership or on Patreon. Our patrons get way more than YouTube members do. Not that we don't value and appreciate our YouTube members, but over on Patreon, that is going to be the best value for your subscription. So if you feel so inclined to support us, all the links to everything is down below, and we really always do very much appreciate it. And we definitely appreciate your patience with us during this time. We've been doing this Discipline Life podcast for 2 years. We have not taken any breaks in that time, and I definitely think that when Coda and I sit down and we kind of talk about our vision for the podcast, we're definitely going to have to consider if we want to ever do any planned breaks, because it is a lot. It's a lot to never have a break, to never have any downtime from this. And I think that that's what kind of led to these last few weeks where things just kind of came to a standstill. And it made me realize that there is value in being able to step back. And so maybe in the future we can plan for those times so that you guys aren't just left wondering what's going on. So anyway, I really appreciate your patience. I appreciate everything that you do in your support of us and what we're doing. And I would love to hear from you if you enjoy the content, if you hate the content, whatever. You can tell me. I don't have a problem with people not agreeing with us, but I do have a problem with people attacking us and attacking our personal character, attacking our relationships. So if you do that, you're going to be deleted. The comment's going to be deleted. That's not welcome here, but I do welcome, criticism. I welcome a differing opinion. You're just not going to attack me, Coda, or our relationship in the process. So let us know what you think down below, and we will talk to you guys next time.